Welcome to VoyagerNetz. My name is Ninka and I'm the Director of Customer Engagement. Today we're going to take a look at VoyagerNetz Engage. That is our solution that focuses on two-way communication, where reach and follow your interests is more one way, where you do your status updates and you get information to your community. It's really one way engage. You can transfer conversations between staff members. You can also answer back and forth with a community member when they have a question. So let's look at Engage. This will be a two-part video series where the first part we will focus only on the user experience for a standard user, and then the second one we will dig in deeper to explain how to set up your system as an administrator or as a supervisory role, how you can keep track of everything that's happening and set your system up the way you would like it. So jumping in, the demo screen I'm showing you right now do have administrator rights. So as a user, you will not see this icon. This is the settings icon, and all of this will be covered in the second video when I go into administrator or supervisor roles. So you will not see that. You will only have your login details where you can see your user information or sign out right there. You will have dashboards, but this is mainly for supervisors and administrators. And then the most of your time will be spent as a user in conversations. So here at the top, you will have your three tabs: waiting, assigned, and completed. You will also not see this other button right there. We will speak about that in the next video too. So let's look at your waiting here. Currently, this is just an example to show you. One of staff members sent a transfer through, so it's waiting for me to accept. I will not accept that right now. It's just to give you an idea of what that will look like. First, I'm going to send in a text message so that you will see if a community member sends something in, what that would look like. So community member just text in a question, and you will see that the minute that happens in your waiting, there will be a message that popped up. Now, while it's in waiting, you'll see that it also updated my waiting. I have my transfer from earlier, and then I have the new message from right now. See that it's updated right here, saying that you have two messages that is waiting. Now, anyone that's in your group will be able to see this message. It has an accept button. Here you will see this is what was just sent in. You will see this little icon right here says that it was a text message. If it came from your Facebook page, then that would indicate it's from Facebook or web chat or wherever that conversation came in. And then you have your automated greeters. This is set up and it will immediately send. You will see this is indicated here that it was sent via the automated system. You can customize this. I will show it in the next video under the user admin roles. So now, right now, I can do nothing with this conversation except to accept it. If it is your department's, then you will go ahead and accept. You can either accept here. By clicking on this, you can see what the conversation is about, but you don't accept it. Now you can either accept by clicking right there or here. It doesn't matter. So we can just go ahead and click the accept button. What then happens you will see it now moved to your assigned folder. So it's no longer in the waiting tab. It is now under the assigned because you are now the owner. You will see that it has my name right here. It says that who is owning this conversation. And you have your tabs up here. Like I said, other is only for supervisors, so you may not have that tab. So you can turn this off, then you will have no conversations. If I click on mine, you will only see the one that you actually are in control of or are the owner of. And then if you click participating, you will find one where someone else is the owner and they added you as a participant for some reason. We will go into that now. Now this is now mine. The person asked a question. If it is a quick and easy one to answer, and there's two ways. You can either just type in, and you'll see now that you've accepted it, all of these different buttons appeared right here. You can type in your answer right here and send. Then if that's the end of the conversation, you will be able to complete it. Or if the client then wants to, or the community member wants to send something back, they can do that and you can keep the conversation open until it's resolved. this little button right here at the bottom, and that is your standard responses. So that can be set up by administrator. We will do that in the next video, but you will have a list of standard responses. If it's a question that's asked frequently, like let's say exactly this, what time does this transport return or go, or it's the same time every day, the schedule doesn't change, like your opening times, what time does the pool open, what time does this close, things like that, that you get answered a lot. Instead of typing the same answer over and over, you can have a standard response, and you can just click your standard response you want to send it off to the client, and they will then immediately come back and say, thank you so much, they have it. There is, it just makes everything so much quicker than to think of what the next step should be. While we wait for that to go through, let's talk about this. This just tells you the number to which the message was sent. It will also show you exactly what the client sent, what was sent automatically, and then when you send a message, you will have this little clock right there which shows you that it has been sent, and then the minute it changes to a check mark, the client received the message. And now here you can also see who sent the message. Let's say this was something, let's run through this quickly. This first is your contact info. It gives you the information from where the message was sent. Let's say it's something you want, there's a specific query, you have an invoice number or a reference number that the client is specifically referring. You can give each conversation a specific reference number. What can also happen if you have language translation issues, let's say you get a message in and it's in a language you don't understand, you can enable language translation. The computer will pick up, or the system will pick up what the language is, and it will immediately transfer it into that language. Now let's just pause here for a second. I'm going to try and find, just going to discard changes. I'm just going to try and find a conversation that was in a different language, just to quickly show you. Okay, let's look at this. Like I said, this is the demo site, so we have a lot of things already on here that can be easily demonstrated. Here is a message that came in French. If you click on that, you will see that the original message looked like that. It was French. Then we picked up, oh, this is a different language. We went to our contacts and enabled language translation. The system picked up it was French, and it automatically changed it for us. What then happens is when you answer and you have language translation selected, then you will type in whichever language you prefer, be that English, Spanish, French, German, whatever. You pick your language, you write in there, the system will pick it up and it will translate it into the French version, and the French version will be sent to the client. So you type in your preferred language, you receive the message in their preferred language, and everything is translated to English if that is what you prefer, or even a third language if that is what you want to communicate in. So just quickly going back to our demonstration text here. It's under contact info, language translation, that you enable or disable your language translation feature. You can also here, if you know this is a specific client that you speak to often or you deal with often, you can actually enter that information in here, or if there's special notes like veteran discount or whatever you want to put, that will then be saved to this contact number, and you will always have that information should you close this tab and a new conversation starts. But it's not necessary to do any of that. Then this will be your internal conversations. What internal chat is between staff members. For instance, I do not know what the answer is to this question, so I want to add someone else. Let's just do that again. So you want to go to the top part here. You will see there's one participant. It's mine. I am using it right. I am the owner of this conversation. I want to add someone else. So I'm just going to pick another staff member. You will have your whole list of staff members right here. I'm going to add John Williams. What you now see is in the participants button, you can add as many participants as you want. You can transfer to them. It's not your department. You need to send it to John, then you can transfer it to him, or you can remove him if he no longer is necessary to be on the chat. So that's the options right there. Now what John will receive is he will receive a message like this with this icon saying that I want to transfer this to him. He can then accept it or reject depending on, but before that maybe you would like to send him a note. So you will send a thing here saying, John, please help. You will send us that, and John will receive this text or notification on his app. Now, John can be out in the field, busy with some maintenance work or whatever, and Engage is available on an app. You can just go to the App Store, Apple or Android, and download the app and then log in with your username. He will then receive this on his phone as a notification. He can then respond. You will see that he sent a message back to you. So the client will have no knowledge of this. There is nothing that notifies the client of the internal chat happening or that you are referring to another a person at this stage. This is just between staff members. They can just talk to each other there. Notes. And notes will be when you want to attach something. And let's say there is something wrong. John finds something that is broken. He can actually take a picture on his phone and attach it. You can write a document, or there's a contract or a reference that needs to be added as a document. You can add that right here in the notes, and all the participants will have access to these notes, and that will be saved to this conversation. Okay, so information, this you can have that same reference that you allocated to the conversation right there, but again, it's not necessary. That is just if you would like to have that information. You will also have a history. So here you will see exactly who it was sent to, who it was transferred to, and when the conversation was done. This is our little transfer. You can transfer it to a different group. So people that's on the expeditions group will not, or users on the expedition groups will not necessarily have to be on the park group or on the racing group. So you will only see the messages coming in to your group if that's your responsibility. If you are a manager or supervisor, you will have access to all of these groups and all of the conversations. Let's say you're in parks and you need to send this conversation through to expeditions, then you can do a group transfer. So it came into the wrong group number, then you just send it, or you can send it to a specific user. You pick your transfer right here. So we decided we're going to transfer to John. So you can pick that right there, and the transfer will come through to John on his phone, and he can accept it or he can then decline it, which will mean you will stay the owner. When John accepts, so this is one spot where you can transfer. The other spot obviously is right here. You can see that this indicates I transferred it. Now you will see there John accepted, which means that now he is the owner and you're just a participant, or I am just a participant right here. You will notice that now I can no longer communicate with the client because I no longer own the conversation. Now that box opened for John and he can send information to the client. If I then ask John to send the conversation back, you'll see that a transfer from John, I can then accept it, which means it will come back to me. He will no longer be able to contact the client, but the rights will come back to me. So that is all of the buttons right here except our complete one. Like I said, you can add your photos on there, you can add documents on there, you can do your automated responses or type in your conversation. When you're done with your conversation, you can complete it. So the conversation outcome will open and there will be a list of outcomes you can choose from. It's a membership request, it's a query. Your supervisor will set up these roles, and we will cover that in the next video. We're just going to say it was an inquiry, the inquiry was answered, and it is now completed. So if you go to completed, you will see that there is your completed conversation right there. You will always have your notes and your conversation information on your internal chat right there. So that is, I think, everything I want to cover in the user video. No, I just realized I missed 2 buttons. So let's quickly go over them. The first one is up here next to conversations. It's this little plus sign. If you click on that, it starts a new conversation. So this will be useful for when you are on the phone with a client, or you received a call and the client asks you to send a registration form, or you need to send some information to the client. They didn't text in. It's just a way for you to communicate with them. You can start a new conversation right here in Engage, and this is the button where you will do that. You will pick your group if you are admin. If you only have access to one group, that will already be selected for you. You will enter the phone number for where you want to send of the contact. The minute you put in the phone number, it will start with just a loading process for the next steps, and as soon as that comes up, you can start your conversation right here and send that to your client. That will then start a new conversation, and you have access to all of the things that I explained previously. One other button I forgot to mention was this little loud speaker over here. Where that comes in handy is if you receive a conversation into Engage, which already is an answer to a question or a yes, please, or it's something strange. It feels like you are not 100% sure where this originated from. It could be reach. Remember that I said reach is our one-way communication where we send information to our community members. It could be that you say this event will be canned or rescheduled. This event will be rescheduled. You and the client wants to know for when will this, if they respond back to your reach communication, reach will not accept that. It's not designed for incoming conversations. That's where Engage comes in. It will come into Engage as a message received, and there you will see that you have not sent any messages to this client. But if there was one, let's say this is now a new conversation, there was no messages broadcast to me. Let's look just at this one. So this was a message that was sent through reach out to a list, and then a message was received back from that conversation. So there is, I think, the last things I wanted to share today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to not miss any future communications or videos. I do post new information quite frequently on that.